There are many spectacular rewards that a crate could contain. You can view this excellent selection by previewing a crate. Choose a reward. This could be useful. Pakruti can see a lucky aura around you today. He is sure you will get something good. And all you need is a crate. You can purchase one from the store, and then we can begin. This one recommends that you purchase a crate from the store. May luck follow you.
You know, my time as a bear was somewhat liberating. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you saved me, but it was fun while it lasted.
It seems Sheogorath held up his end of the deal. I felt his absence, I should likely say. I was able to open a portal here without any difficulty. I tried to tell Captain Elanthor what happened, but he wouldn't listen. In his youth, I took him as an apprentice. He was lazy, a bit reckless, and nearly set my laboratory afire on 3 occasions. His childhood was quite difficult, but that's no excuse for his actions. Long ago, his bloodline ruled South Point. He was a child who thought the town would one day be his, but his parents died in a fire when he was young, and he lost everything. I thought... Yes, very soon. Once I pour through the wreckage of my home and see what wasn't lost, perhaps I'll see you there?
Thanks for saving my hide. They were trying to find a big enough pot to boil me.
The scouts you rescued brought reinforcements from Elden Root. We subdued the townsfolk for their own protection. Tell me, what? I thought Dareneth was mad. A Daedric prince in Gratwood? Is he in the cathedral? We should clear the town. You? Well, thank the 8 divines. Where is this man? I would have preferred a public execution. After what he did to this town, I hope we'll escort them to Eldenroot. Hopefully the Mages Guild can look into their madness. As for South...
The Maormer would have destroyed the Malabal Tor mainland with their storms if it weren't for you.
The 8 divines are running a little behind. We must...
Additionally, Elden Root has many of its labor facilities, homes, and other elements of the community suspended within the Elden Tree's branches. Isn't that exciting?
On the branches? Is that safe? Is it easy to stumble off of these areas?
Well, yes. That's why you must watch your step while on the platforms.
I'm not sure what
Nobody makes bows.
The Dominion's got all these rules.
It's mostly the same. Essentially, you can eat anything you could before, just not anything at all.
Really? Well, that's a relief. I don't think I did that very much anyway. Too troublesome. Sure I like how different things are now. All these high elves and Khajiit in our forest. It's odd.
Oh, come on! You're a gatherer. How has their being here affected you at all?
Well, now they tell me places I can't go, because there might be an army there or something stupid like that.
You'll like the way you're dressed.
This one, no.
This is about Cormount, isn't it? Don't blame her because you backed the wrong side.
Since we've had more High Elves and Khajiit around, the food has gotten much more varied.
What do you want?
May Arcade drive back the darkness forever.
Strange wanderer, wandering wayfarer. I do not spin in terms of whats, but rather in whens. Ifre taught the birds to sing and the waves to lap against the beach. Through Ifre's song, of course, he sees and hears nothing. For Ifre is now the earth bones, the frame upon which nature... The sea is all-enclosing, the water that encircles all of Mundus. The birds call out that which you already do, as do all mortals. Your frame of perception to sing a law and then speak into the heart of that law, convincing it of a subtle error and how it... The sky mirrors the sea, and the sea also reflects its mirror. Day, night, and within each half of the sphere of reflection lies half of the potentialities of Nirn's way in any given moment. Each moment so turned becomes an island in your path. For example, the Dwemer, united, had their... Yes, change is wrought in Nirn in 6 ways, and the turning of islands is one of these, often described by others in other terms. Of course, it is possible. Aetherius is the sea of light, the immortal plane, the origin of magic. Ifre sings not of Aetherius, but to it. They are Aetherius. Rather, the sun and stars are holes pierced into the veil of night by Magnus and others. Well, consider this. As Oblivion is a realm composed of realms, so too is Aetherius a bright sea with many realms within. Now, that is an enormous question that I cannot answer. Many souls of mortals become spirits of another sort in that place. And that is all I can say with any certainty.
Do your banking here. A sword of quality.
We don't do loans.
This one can guarantee not even Bandar will steal anything you leave with us, unless you are Bandar.
There's something about watching that scholar squirm that I really enjoy.
I've spent a great deal of...
Maybe wonders if this tree truly grew this way.
Prince was involved.
You believe all you
Sheogora
hear?
himself.
A Daedric prince? Did your sister see a clutch of butterflies when she was there?
Believe what you like. I'm glad things have gone down there, whatever the cause.
You look like someone who needs a bag, perhaps.
Believe what you like. I'm glad things have gone down there, whatever the cause.
still can't believe it's all gone. What are we going to do?
Help! Oh, help me! Get me out of here! Soldiers. Soldiers, Dominion soldiers. One of the soldiers called it Rachin's mantle. Raylor is near those glowing stones. Be careful!
You aren't with the pilgrims, are you? Then perhaps you can be of assistance. General Endare scours this place for Rajin's mantle, but the relic must be kept from her hands. Either she misunderstands the dangers, or she thinks they don't apply to her. I'm concerned about its misuse. Unless you're prepared to handle them correctly, relics such as these can corrode you. I would. Then she's in luck. I served the 8 divines before joining the Mages Guild. I know what must be done to safely transport... The Falanesti faithful believe the Welkin stones hold the memories of the walking city. Earlier, I heard soldiers speaking of the same stones. Regine is a Khajiit trickster god, also worshipped by thieves and deceivers. The Khajiit swap tales of Regine's greatest pranks. It is said his 7 shadows do his bidding throughout Tamriel. Yes, each shadow reflects a different aspect of Regine's personality and power. This could be... I have a theory, but until I can support it, speculation is less than useless. A famous High Elf general, or infamous, depending on who you ask. Her Jade Dragoons are well respected, but she has an aggressive reputation. Last I heard, she was in Haven. A very good question, which raises another. Regine's mantle is a Khajiit legend. Why does she seek it out in Grotwood, the home of the Wood Elf King? What could have brought it to the Farlanesti Winterside? Arms as tall as a person, an endless hunger, and jaws that can snap off a horse's leg in a single bite. Why am I afraid of frost trolls? Let's see what these stones reveal.
Who are you? What brings you into my home?
A simple thief of hearts, come to steal yours from this walking city.
Steal my heart or steal your loins? For your arrow looks a quiver.
Such a lowly mouth can dine anywhere, a trait we both share. What service to our palates should we conjoin in feast?
I am a married woman, so you must starve, unless you care to feast upon yourself.
There must be more to see.
I cannot sleep, and my husband will not wake. What cruel jest is this?
Say the word, Lady Nerume. I will allow you to sleep in my bed.
Scoundrel! You think to steal me from my husband? From the city I call home?
I only stole your sleep, which I gifted to your husband. His inattention must make him harder to love.
What would you know of love, monster? You have none of it, and you will have none of me.
Your protests ring hollow, Lady Nerume. We shall see how much when I steal you away from husband and home.
What else can we learn?
Come to me, my little snowbird.
What have you done? Where am I?
This vault, I built it to hold a precious treasure deep below your walking city. I will keep you safe and away from interference.
Why have you done this? Is your heart as cold as this chamber?
Your heart is cold, Lady Nerume. Warming it to Rajin's shadow will unlock the prison built of your denial.
Never. I would rather freeze until time's end than share one warm moment with you.
So be it. This vault shall forever hold your frozen heart. I leave my mantle to conceal the shame you caused me. Farewell, Ellie.
Now we know why why the fallen Esti faithful were forced to dig. We should speak of this. General Endari was certain she'd find Rogin's mantle beneath the fallen Esti winter site. She made the fallen Esti faithful dig for that frozen vault. It seems they have uncovered it. And it would certainly explain the frost trolls. Perhaps Kirtor can help. The fallen Esti faithful aren't led by anyone, but after last I saw, he was in an encampment near the dig site. Mostly fallen Esti faithful with a handful of soldiers. We should have... They're peaceful sorts. Most believe their faith will one day... You'd be better off asking them to explain their own delusion. I've noted it's not...
You travel with Braylor. He has proven himself a friend to the fallen Esti faithful, as was General Endari. When our digging revealed existing tunnels, she pulled us back to our camp before taking us... We were already at our camp. I know she led soldiers into one of the caves, but not which one. She pressed us into service in the search for Rachin's mantle. Initially, their treatment was harsh. But I spoke with her directly and proposed she take a lighter approach. In return, I would convince the fallen Esti faithful to assist her efforts. Yes, she saw the wisdom in my words. A reasonable request earned a reasonable response. A true shame the rest of Tamriel doesn't work like that.
Are you another soldier? Come to loose trolls upon the Valenwood? How can so many know my name after all these years? Yes, I am Narame. I hope to stem the tide of frost trolls by sealing their egress. But ice is the... You are not the first. General Endare broke through to my prison in search of the same. Regine's mantle is the key to my prison beneath the Fallenesti winter site. If I but touch its hem, it will steal all my hatred for Regine's shadow and fill the void with love. I'll make lute strings of his innards first. Only to show me I was powerless in his clutches. Worse, to kindle hope my husband would come to free me, then smother that hope with his continued absence. But Regine's shadow knows nothing of love. There is another cave, sealed by a frost-covered door. It leads to my prison. If you swear to... I was delighted to speak with another after so long. But once inside, she ignored me entirely. Regine's shadow suspended them in my prison to guard against invaders. It seems they had never before sucked on the flesh of men or mer. But once they did, it was a terrible... General Endari spoke of it being the second era. It seems I was trapped here in the first. Come, let us speak of Regine's mantle. This way! I'm in here! My prison holds me in complete solitude for centuries. Yet 2 visitors arrive on the same day. Take this ring. It's my wedding band. It's the one thing I hold dear in this wretched place. Should you bring it to the inner vault, I can join you in icy form. I'll warn you of the dangers and aid you against them. You swore you would free me! Forgive me. The promise of freedom ruins my manners. You should do what you must, and what you are willing. I was no mage when Regine's shadow first stole me from Fallenesti. But I've studied every inch of this icy prison. With effort, direct my wedding band at any foe. I can use it as a focus to freeze your enemies for a short time. Very little, unfortunately. It may be a divine piece of the god Regine. Why would anyone want a piece of the trickster god? The answer is usually power. I've been trapped here for so long. To feel the sun upon... I know little of use beyond the walls of this prison, but I'll answer what I can.
Head up the stairs and through the door. My construct will join you shortly. Watch for the icy tricks and... Watch for the icy tricks and traps. General Andare's soldiers were no match for the inner vault. Step carefully.
You'll never take it from me!
Who are you? And why are you dragging that frost witch behind you? You? I'm a decorated general of the Aldmeri Dominion, a hero to my people. But I found Rajine's mantle. Why should Queen Irene be the one to wear it? You're right. We were overrun. I thought to use its power to slay our foes, but I couldn't stop. No. You're trying to trick me. Trick the trickster god, huh?
Both of me will defeat you! Of its power.
Rajine's mantle so you might free me. I can't believe my eyes. You hold... Removing Rajine's mantle from the inner vault weakened the magic of the prison. Now you must... Rajine's mantle is a slippery thing, especially with enchantments that bind its bearer. Place it upon the brazier at the heart of this room. Soon I'll leave this place and...
Lady Nehrume, you denied my love, and now I deny your journey home. If you beg my forgiveness, convincingly, I'll return the walking city from where I stole it.
What? Could that filth spirit away all of Fallen Esty? He took the walking city? He took my home? What else can I do but seek my home? But everything is so different now. General Indare mentioned an Aldmeri Dominion, yet I don't know what that means. Truly? Then I must find this Braylor and see what he knows of Fallen Esty. I should seek him out.
the frost trolls surrounded your prison for how many years? Truly detestable, my lady.
They were quite terrifying, even when projecting my construct in the midst.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but you're alive! We heard some... And you freed Lady Nerume! She's quite agreeable, and could prove to be a living repository of knowledge regarding the walking city. I hope General Endare didn't give you any trouble. I see. I don't know why she did all of this, but she was once a hero. I'll alert the Ultima Embassy when I've returned to Elden Root. Once I have it at the Mages Guild, I'll see if I can discern a safer way to handle... Excellent. I can't bear to think of the outcome had you not been here. But no matter. Lady Nerume and I will return to Elden Root as soon as it's safe. You say the frost trolls surrounded your prison for how many years? Truly detestable, my lady.
They were quite terrifying, even when projecting my construct in their midst.
You have done what has not been done in centuries. All the parts of the... Not much. You've done Imagine the chance to see the orrery operate. We should really head in there and get started. The ratification ceremony isn't going to perform itself.
Preposterous! I'm an Aldmeri Vice-Reeve, an assistant to Prince Naemon himself. Why am I barred from the ceremony?
The orrery hasn't been activated in a millennia. It might work splendidly, yes. Or it might explode. But I'll speak with Darrenet if you insist on being present.
Upon consideration, I suppose I could wait by the door to call for help, should anything go wrong. There won't be much to see, I'm sure. The Aliads were notorious for their glowing crystals.
Little brother, you shouldn't be here for this. Darreneth warned us of the dangers.
I won't turn my back on family. My place is in your shadow, as it has always been.
I know this can't be easy for you.
On the contrary, today the Dominion shall see why a High Elf is fit to lead all of Tamriel.
I used to despise your certainty, but today it's reassuring, oddly enough.
Apology accepted. An Aliad artifact supposedly touched by the gods will proclaim my sister.
Prince Naemon says you're to thank for ensuring the ratification ceremony will happen without delay. Nonsense. It was a great deal of trouble. It's not something one forgets, especially...
I'll make sure everyone clears out, as you requested. but you don't need to be here, Your Highness.
I used to sneak in here as a child and climb through the orrery's rungs. Do you think I'd pass up on the chance to see what it actually does? But have no fear. I want you at the outer door.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I won't let you down.
You never do.
The orrery seems like a fancy device. I hope it works.
How exciting! The orrery has done nothing but spin for generations. To think.
Strange to see you after South Point. Not bad, just strange. But no matter. I can hardly believe we're about to breathe some life into this old girl. And before you ask, yes, I'm speaking of the orrery. Almost. You recovered the pieces needed for the orrery's activation, so it's only fair you're here to put them in place. Good! The first thing you'll need is to take up Rachin's mantle. A god's hands move the orrery, goes the translation. But that's a load of bourslop. You simply need to be in 3 places at once. Rachin's mantle should allow for that. Oh, you'll be all right. That overly earnest fellow from the Mages Guild. Braylor, was it? He assured me you'd be safe if you wore it for no longer than 90 minutes. Approach the pillars beyond the orrery itself. You must activate each in turn while keeping one thought in mind. When you wear Rachin's mantle, you'll never be held in place. From what I understand, it shouldn't...
So this pile of moss and rubble determines the next emperor?
The orrery is ancient. Show some respect.
Nearly there, Your Majesties, Your Highness. That's it! It's working! It's actually working! Here, take hold of the heart of a numeral. Place it in the pillar next to our royal... Awaken the orrery, whatever that truly means. But have no fear. This contrivance allows me to manipulate.
Fascinating. And a bit intimidating.
This is wonderful. After all...
It has its own archaic charm, I'll admit. And now the Alien death trap will tell us if we have an emperor in our midst. Truly a momentous day.
Naaman, now is not the time.
Irene, there's always time to protect you from yourself. For how could I let you risk your life in this contraption without testing it first, dear sister?
When you wear Rachin's mantle, you'll never be held in place.
It's incredible! I can see the white gold tower! No!
No! You tricked me, sister! It's your fault! Vermin! All of you! I'll kill you all!
What were you thinking? Why? What? No, Why would Naaman do this? I made him a part of what we were building. Tried to show him this is about more than just what the legend says. It revealed the person within. Do you think I have a choice in this? I will enter the orrery as I swore to the people of the Aldmeri Dominion. If I'm changed, as my brother was, I can't become a danger to the people I've sworn to lead. I must not delay. I'm myself, aren't I? A dominion of peace. The fair and just rule of Tamriel, beneath an Aldmeri banner. A future I hope to build. And you, standing at my side. Come, help me build the future. I don't intend to tell anyone what my brother did. As far as I'm concerned, he died trying to help me, not usurp my throne. The Staff of Magnus. A powerful object with the ability to suppress magic. Dangerous were it to fall into the wrong hands. Luckily, we already possess it. Go to Marbrook in Eastern Greenshade. Speak to Captain Sarandel about securing the staff. I'll follow soon after.
We heard sounds of battle. What happened?
There was an accident. My brother gave his life to protect us. He died a hero.
I don't...
I will soon go to Marbrook. Vicereeve Peladil, I want you to travel ahead with my brother's body. You will make the funeral arrangements.
Yes. Yes, Your Majesty. I understand.
Spare no expense for his funeral. All in the Dominion are welcome. All may pay their respects to a hero.
At once, Your Majesty.
I don't intend to tell anyone what my brother did.
What happened to Prince Naaman was a tragedy. I hope that sounds believable.
I had my doubts about Queen Irene. Not after today. Travel.
Is this really happening?
I don't know what you mean.
You must have seen. You arrived near the end of it.
The Queen says her brother died a hero, so that's what I saw. I don't want to think of the outcome had you not been here.
Learn to ignore the truth?
We learn that leadership is messy. And because royalty must grieve in public, we learn not to judge.
Perhaps you're right.
You have anything for...
This is about Cormount, isn't it? Don't blame her because you backed the wrong side.
This one hears the strangeness and South Point has ended. Seems that DrBrynzo was involved. Sheogorath himself.
What is it?
My friend! How good it is to see you!
What is it?
Hail, chosen of the Queen. We have been... Queen Irene sent a missive detailing your arrival and orders. You are here to secure the staff of Magnus. Safe, in our vault below the city. We have guarded it day and night. If you would follow me. As you can see, our artisans have built some small amount of civilization amidst this barbaric wilderness. Marbrook will soon be a jewel of the Dominion in this backward territory. As one would expect, we have encountered scattered protests, nonsense about protecting the trees. The local Bosma are disorganized and flighty. Such outbursts usually fizzle out of their own accord. Behold the Mages Guild. The paint is still fresh, a marvelous addition to the city. Work remains, of course, but one does what one must on the fringes of the Dominion. The vault is below. Follow me. This vault holds many rare plants that no longer exist in the Somerset Isles. Do take a closer look. I am no scholar of botany, but I know something about our specimens. We've been trying to transplant this unusual variety of redwort plant into Somerset for some time. Crimson Nernroot. We thought it was a Nord tall tale. We found these in a Valenwood cave of all places. Alchemists pay a dear price for this plant. It will be the jewel of the royal gardens. Valenwood soil is, not surprisingly, very fertile. These specimens are bound for the royal gardens. This room holds Aeliad relics uncovered across Valenwood. Interesting, aren't they? We've removed any dormant traps that we know of, so feel free to examine them more closely. Scholars believe this relic was broken into pieces when it fell from the heavens. They believe there may be others in Hectorheim, the legendary center of the Valenwood. The tree gifts. We're not actually sure what it does. This helm is actually from our own collection, but one of our Bosma allies stole it and then returned it in exchange for a song. Our ancestors have left traces of their civilization across Tamriel. If we... Behold, the Staff of Magnus. What happened? Where is it? By the shining trees of Aldmeris! We have been burgled! But how? I know not. We have guarded the vault day and night. I placed the staff... No. The vault is off limits to all, but... Wait. The Queen's business. Or so he stated. The staff was present before his visit, but I did not check. Unthinkable. Yet, what other conclusion can we draw? Such illusionary magic is beyond the ken of a common thief. To the surface, I must question the watch. None have entered the vault save you and the Vice-Reeve. He departed into the wilderness. He said he had orders from the Queen to bring Naaman's body. He did not return. The Staff of Magnus is an extremely powerful object. There's no telling what wickedness he could achieve if he desired.
Chosen of Marbrook, your queen has arrived. Bear witness to the glory of Queen Irene, hope of the Dominion.
If one more Bosmer tells me that he's in charge...
Honor and praise, my friend. Do you have the Staff of Magnus? Peladil? Then it's true. He's betrayed us. My brother's body didn't make it to Marbrook either. I knew he loved Naaman dearly, but I didn't think he'd stoop to this. I will once again require your aid.
These wood elves and their forest spirits. How claws are they strange?
It is good to see you, my friend. Greenshade is far more exciting place than Raz expected. Not yet, but it is possible. The elves in this part of the Valenwood we do not know. The Battle Reeves sent a soldier, Hazazi, to negotiate with the Bramblebreach clan, but he has made no progress. The Bramblebreach village is just south of Marbrook. Hazazi is there. He likes to complain, but he's a good soldier. He just needs someone with a more sophisticated negotiation style. And by the time you get back, this one does not understand Bosmer clan politics. But as Raz hears it, the clan's Greenshade is the heart of Valenwood. It is very dangerous and very mysterious, and these Bosmer understand it like no others do. Raz would not be deterred, but even Camorran's Vindusk Rangers avoid traveling in this part of the forest. As always, Raz serves the Queen. She wanted to know if the Bosmer here are as scary as they sound. With the Staff of Magnus stolen, though, Raz must make that his priority. This one does not understand Bosmer clan politics. But Greenshade is the heart of it. The obvious answer is probably the right one. Paladin. If Paladil has taken the staff, we need to find him and discover what...
Without the aid of the local tribes, our power here will remain weak.
My sadness is unbearable.
Dark moons. These crazy Bosmer make no sense. Hazazi comes to negotiate on behalf. What negotiations? These dungy elves don't want talk. They say they only answer to the Wielder King. Who is this? Who knows? Hazazi likes this idea. If you can just get the Bramble Breach to make sense, this one will be impressed. Hazazi thinks it's a wild guar chase, but if you want to try, speak with their tree thane. May you have better luck than Hazazi.
My eyes look red to you.
I didn't think I was being disrespectful. Sometimes people are just impossible to understand.
Another tourist. Rare to have so many visitors in this part of the Valenwood. Negotiate? About what? Oh, I know. You want us to bow to your queen and... Ha! Sure. Let me just pull him from my satchel. Not in person, but I don't doubt the Wielder King exists. I could tell you, but how do I know you're trustworthy? You ask us to share your enemies, but we'll use lurchers. Take seeds from the shimmering tree in the village and plant them in the orcs' camp. In a few minutes, they'll sprout out with a vengeance. The orc chieftain won't surrender so easily, though. Just kill him. Leave the rest to the lurchers. Don't bother coming back here until you've run off the orcs. I've got important business to attend to. Huh. Well, if you plant them in some peat, they sprout into a flower, and then after some time, the flower grows into a lurcher. If you want more than that, they're gifts from the Wielder King, embodiments of the raw energy of the forest. They protect the village. They're not so smart. We can't lead them against the orc. Well, if you plant them in some peat, they sprout into a flower.
Can you believe that tree thane? Was the tree thane as rude to you as she was to me? All I asked was how one might get an audience. She did? That's funny, because Ander and I offered to drive the orcs away and she turned us down. I didn't say that. There is definitely a distinctive magical force in this part of Valenwood. But, oh, I'm Aranias. Maybe you've read my book, Spriggans in the Green story, and we'll just have to venture deeper into the forest on our own. If you want, you can take the essence from the calliope tree and rub it all over your body to cloak yourself in a haze of forest moths. The wood orcs won't eat. Oh, one more thing. Ander scouted out the orcs' camp pretty extensively. He might have some useful observations if you ask. Good luck with the wood orcs and that tricky tree thing. There seem to be a lot more rumors than any real facts. Some say he's a man. Me? I was born and raised in the Somerset Isles on a rather small island. Of course not. He's mainly here, acting as my guardian.
I spent several hours watching the wood orcs and evaluating their weaknesses. As a whole, their strength is in numbers. As long as you don't take on the entire camp, you should be fine. By the look of his scars, he's seen his share of battle, and he knows how to take...
The garrison's safe now, but there'll soon be another fight. Another way to raise our weapons in battle. Mark my words.
So the Wood Elves have a friend who's not afraid to fight. Good. Give me your best. The Wood Elves have a friend who's not afraid to fight. Good. Give me your best.
The Guardians just ripped the rest of the Wood Orcs to shreds.
My scouts came back singing your praises. They said the Wood Orcs broke quickly. Huh, and you're worried I won't hold up my end of the bargain? No, I keep my promises. I hope I haven't given you a sense of false hope, though. Bosmer around here petition the Wilder King for an audience all the time. Suit yourself. Just south of my home, you'll find the petitioning stone. Just touch it. I never said it was complicated. Besides, by scaring off those Wood Orcs, you just might have improved your chances.
Welcome to my court, outsider. Since you entered my domain, I have watched your actions with keen interest. You have been generous with my... Again, not what I expected. I think I've heard of this old merry dominion, but I don't see how inclusion in this group would appeal to me or to the people in my domain. Aligning with you would only alienate us from others. Interesting. You think we have common enemies? My only enemies are those who would seek to harm Valenwood. Let us test your theory, though. Show me one of... Use the other stone pillar, the one on the platform behind us. Touch that stone pillar and an apparition will appear. One of your enemies, as you say. Fight this enemy. I am pleased to be able to lend you strength to face this enemy from your past.
Strike us down. The veiled Heritans will always rise again.
Hazazi is finished with this village.
I sense the darkness in the heart of the one you fought, but he has already been defeated, has he not? And those like him, they may not all share his darkness. The Veiled Heritance. Yes, I am familiar with this distinction as well. There is one among this group who has come to Valenwood to see me, and I find her curious. Very curious. I'm not She is one who has been blessed with fascinating gifts. Gifts I cannot afford to ignore. You would know her identity, though. I was able to capture one of her memories. Touch the petition stone again, and I will share.
Why does the Dominion send Hazazi to places like...
We have much need of someone like you, Ananias.
Yes, young one. We have a problem in the Valenwood that will require your talents specifically.
I would be honored to help however I can.
An opportunity has arisen to strike a devastating blow to the Dominion, to divide the Bosmer.
The Bosmer in Greenshade claim allegiance not to King Camoran, but to a man they call the Wilder King.
Killing this Wilder King will drive the Bosmer mad. He is very elusive, though, so I will need your help to find him.
You realize we are entrusting you with an important task, I hope, my dear.
Of course, Lady Estrie, you can count on me.
As you've just seen, the young girl Aranias is associated with the Veiled Heritance. Until I know more about her, I hesitate to call her an enemy. I will have more insight soon, though. Even now, so she believes. But there may be a greater truth to her purpose here. You may not like this, but I sense the same is true of you. Like the branches of a grat oak, I believe that Aranias' destiny, my destiny, and your destiny are all intertwined. I cannot yet see how these events will play out, but I do know that like Aranias, you must come deeper into the forest. You must eventually come to my throne, but not yet. Each of us is a strand to be spun into the story of Valenwood. You should seek out the spinner, Marrowan. He can tell us how this story began and where it should end. Yes, traveling through Valenwood is a funny thing. It may take them many days to find the path to my throne. You have all the time you need. Find the...
Dancing elves, forest spirit kings. These people are pulling on the tail in more ways than one. You can stay if you want to, but Hazazi...
I was beginning to think you wouldn't make it. I've already begun. Yes, of course. I have been waiting for you. You certainly took your time about things. Not your fault, I understand. Not inside the story. You must also enter the story in order to help her. Aranias wants to see the Wilder King. I'm his gatekeeper. To see him, you ask me nicely, and then I tell you a story. A story that you take part in. Yes, the story is one from her own past, but she's convinced that she's living through these events for the first time. You'll play the part of the close friend she never had. Someone she can trust. Ask nicely. Of course. Now, sit down by the fireplace. Imagine there's... Have a seat by the fire and let me know when you're ready to hear the story. Remember, ask nicely. Imagine the flames are the waves of a vast, cold waves on a clear blue ocean off the... Now picture an island. Trees around the island shimmer in the sunlight. One of those two Ultmas stands outside the manor on this island. Her... The island of Silitar.
I'm so glad you could come. My parents will be back tonight, and I was afraid I'd have to face them alone again. That's why I asked you to come early. I'm not sure what will happen either. Before they get back, I want to be carefree. We can visit some of our favorite places together. Why wouldn't I? We practically grew up together. You're the only one I can trust these days. Bramblebreach? You know my parents have never let me leave Silitar after they saw what I can do. I've missed so much. They were afraid, like everyone else. After I raised up the land under the sea and smashed... You don't know what this means to me. Now, what will we do first? I know, let's race to the... Are my vines getting in your way? Not bad. You're pretty fast. Maybe. You know, I've always had a special connection to the land. I'm sorry, it just... happened. Wait, something's wrong. Can you feel that? Over the rise. Wait. Too many footsteps, and it's too early for my parents' return. can't do this. We've got to... That'll show them. No one attacks my island. What have they done to my farm? Why does it matter? I'm tired of this. Everyone wants to hurt me or use me, and it stops now. I'm sorry. After my parents left, I felt so... No, it's not your fault. Thanks to you, these bastards didn't get very far. They could have destroyed everything.
Come, I must speak with you once more. In her tale, Aranias was volatile, and she swung between anger, shame, and hope. Feared by her own parents, you will soon see it for yourself. But first, you should view another scene from Aranias' past. She was a bit younger, and excited about her newly found... Of course not. For her, it hasn't happened yet. Remember, I put you into her past to help her when she's at her most...
Why are your clothes all wet? Mother, what do you think of this tree? How about this island you're standing on?
The ground is soaked. I'll need new shoes now.
I made it.
What? You made the ground soggy?
The island. I made this little island.
What? Ara, what do you mean you made it?
These trees, those rocks, none of this was here yesterday. The ground is wet because I used my magic to pull it up from under the water.
Oh, Ara, what have you done?
Gifted with a rare and powerful ability, Aranias tried it. So much happened next, but I especially draw your attention to two particular events. One scene is atop the lighthouse, the other in the Manor's Great Hall. They will help you understand more about our troubled Altmer, I hope. No. The greatest challenge comes next, and Aranias needs you. Her parents returned after the attack on the farm, and brought with getting changed at the manor. You should do the same after you watch those scenes. You'll find a change of clothes in the guest bedroom off the Great Hall. Then, go to Aranias.
I'm sorry.
You're lucky they're alive. How many more ships will you sink?
It was an accident.
Accidents are spilling water, dropping glass. You lifted a ship out of the ocean with a wall of rock.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Your mother and I will discuss your punishment. Go.
Your father and I leave for Somerset in the morning.
I won't do it again, I promise. I'll try harder. Don't leave me behind!
Don't grovel. It's unbecoming. We will return with help to control your temper.
How much more can I apologize? I said I'm sorry.
No, Ara. It's just, you need training. What you did to the ship, that scares people.
What sort of training, Father?
You look good. How do you feel? There are so many people. And look, it's High Kin Lady Estrie. Why is she here? I bet my parents want me to show off my powers. I thought they were bringing me a teacher or something. Hesitant? I hate this, and they've got something particular they want to see. Would you do me a favor and find out? Mingle among them, eavesdrop. Find out what they've planned for me. You asked me this before, silly. I don't know, but when I think about changing things...
Her parents invited me to witness her powers firsthand. She lifted the ground up under my very feet. Her demonstration today will not be one of skill, but of character. A noble high elf raised in such environs. It's a travesty.
Ander demonstrates amazing potential. Why are we bothering with this girl and her clods of dirt? Ander could melt them with hardly a thought. What do they call her? The Rock Witch? Hilarious. Provincial.
Her parents did right to come to me. Only I can help the poor thing.
Ander has one of the little beggars in the field, away from the house. Aranias will demonstrate her talents on the other. Her demonstration will determine how we employ her talents.
I'm afraid this one is about to die. I didn't realize how frail Bosmer were. Not this goblin-faced meat-eater, his wife. Wait a minute. You're not with the Heritants?
They took my wife. They will give her to the witch, the Rock Witch. The land will...
You killed Ander? That's not supposed to happen. Oh, don't worry. It was an entertaining twist, to be sure. But sadly, as real as it may seem, this is just a story. In real life, you were not there. He has had considerable time to grow in power, and his temper has not gotten any longer, if you understand me. It seems the Veiled Heritants have sent him after Aranias to ensure she kills the Wilding. I met him. He wanted to get into this story, but he wouldn't ask nicely. But there's nothing we can do about that right now. We have a story to finish. Aranias' big moment is in the garden. She's been commanded to kill the wife of this Bosmer. You should hurry to her.
This creature is no different from those who burned your farm. Please. Aranias, my child, raise the ground up to trap this animal.
Please let us go.
Aranias, do you remember how helpless you were when your farm burned? Good. Good. Now tear this animal apart.
Fate mocks me.
This is my test. If I can take the life of this girl, it means that I am willing to make them... What about the Bosmer who attacked my island? What were they, Dominion ambassadors? If I refuse to kill this Bosmer, then what? I'll be alone again. The Rock Witch of Silitar, a monster for fairy tale. You're here with me now, but what about later? No, that's not it. I must trust myself. Believe I can do what's right. I am stronger than this. I won't murder an innocent to prove I can, no matter who demands it. The Veiled Heritants won't control my destiny. I will. I can do this, and I shall. No, I won't do it!
You were a fine character, most enjoyable, and it looks like you made quite an impression on Aranias. As one story ends, another reaches its climax. Our little bit of mischief was a success. Because of you, Aranias may very well betray her masters to defend the Wilder King. Truly, I hope we never need change a story so extensively again. Though we spinners can do so, it's usually better to let a tale conclude on its own. Usually. Venturing into the story of Aranias' past has sown the seeds of her transformation, but they have yet to sprout. Even now, preserving his life may be impossible at this point, but you must try. Without him, the Valenwood will rage out of control. The only hope lies with Aranias and with you. Go to Greenheart and follow the trail of fire to the Wilder King's throne.
It's good you're here. With earth magic and fire, Aranias and Ander forced their way towards my throne, leaving... My end was inevitable all along. Someone new must become caretaker of the Veiled Wood. Aranias was guided here for this purpose. I think you should catch up with him. Follow the trail of fire. Aranias must choose to accept the responsibility of her own accord, but Ander will not understand. I expect he will oppose her, and she... Quickly, Aranias wavers. She knows now why she was guided here, not to destroy the Valen Wood. Aranias' powers grow as she draws closer to the throne. She opened the ground here and they entered the throne tunnels. You must follow. You must be there to help Aranias when she decides to make her stand. My hold over the creatures of the Valen Wood has weakened. That is why they panic and attack. I lack the strength to pull them back.
of my way, girl. I have no patience for this.
It's you. From Silitar. My friend. Thank the Eight. You were right about the veiled inheritance, I'm sure now. I don't know. But somehow it seems like that's what I was meant to do all along. When he burned the forest, I actually felt its pain. He's gone ahead. I can travel through the roots to catch up, but you will have to fight your way through. This might help. Use this bundle of roots and you can burrow for short distances. I will protect the Wilder King as long as I can, but you must hurry.